Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Whom I respect, my beloved lecturer Mr. Rahman, who has given me this opportunity so that I can deliver my speech today. And praise be to Allah who has given us opportunity so that we can gather at this time. And don't forget to send salawat and salam to Prophet Muhammad, who has changed our world civilization from the age of ignorance to Islam. So the topic of my speech today is preventing violence in educational institution. An educational institution should be a safe place for students to study and develop their talent. But what happened most of the time was the opposite. In fact, it's in this place that many acts of violence are occurs, be it physical violence, psychological violence, or sexual violence. The definition of sexual violence is any act of violence, any sexual act or attempt to obtain sexual acts by violence or coercion. And physical violence is when someone tries or hurt other people by using physical force, and psychological violence is when someone threatening other people without using physical violence. The violence sometimes carried out by student to teacher, teacher to student, and between fellow student and fellow teacher. There are many reasons, various reasons why they commit violence, but whatever the reason and whoever the culprit, it cannot be justified. Therefore, it's necessary to take prevent measures to overcome this problem. There are several things that we can do to prevent violence in educational institution. First, by doing socialization to increase student knowledge about what violence is and what things include acts of violence, because most of the victim and the culprit don't know if they are experiencing violence or doing violence. So with this socialization, students can find out if it's happened to them or those around them. Second is by creating anonymous reporting system. This because most of the victims and witnesses of acts of violence are afraid to report what they saw because they were embarrassed or they were afraid that they would become the next victim. So with this anonymous reporting system, the organization who acts to prevent violence in educational institution can take action to investigate whether the thing that reported are actually happen or not. The third is by forming a violence prevention team with principal decision containing principal, student representative, parent representative, and teacher representative. And the last is by creating educational unit environment that are comfortable, pleasant, and away from acts of violence, because environment have big factor is a big factor that give a big impact to person behavior and development. So in conclusion, the prevention of violence in educational institution not only carried out by the Minister of Education but by all the members that belong to educational institution itself and the entire community. And if an act of violence are occur in front of your eyes, please don't pretend to you don't know about that, because it will make the victims or it will make the victim more tormented, and it will make them lose their hope, because they will think that no one's care about them. Uh, if you afraid to help them directly, you can help them by reporting the act of violence to organizations that have authorities. So there are a lot of things that we can do to prevent violence, especially in educational institutions. And I think that's all speech that I can convey this time. Sorry if there are mistakes in my word, because I'm also not a perfect human being who can escape from mistake. Lastly, nothing good ever comes from violence. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.